here is a bit of French I picked up towards this presentation. Is très important. It's very important. It's the first round, and it's quite open. These are the 5 candidates from left to right, and in the first round, only 2 will make it to the second round. So let's begin with a bit of a background. It's a very unusual election round in France. In the previous elections, we had it was left against right, socialists against the Republicans, center left against center right. This time is different. We have the 2 leading candidates here at the bottom, Emmanuel Macron and Marine Le Pen, are have the highest chances of reaching the second round, and they're not from these 2 parties. The incumbent, François Hollande, here at the bottom right, saying goodbye. He had at some point a 4% approval rating. In general, a very unpopular president. He was disliked on the left and on the right. Decided not to run. Okay, that's unusual enough. Let's talk about the most important candidates. Here is Marine Le Pen. She's from the extreme right Front National party her father founded back in the 70s. Anti-immigration, anti-Muslim, a bit anti-Semitic as well, I would say. She wants a referendum about Frexit, about a French exit of the Eurozone. Needless to say, well, not needless, because I'm saying it anyway, there's no euro without France. France is a founding country, the core of the core. If France begins thinking about the exits, it could start the ball rolling, and it's very dangerous. In theory, anybody should beat her because she has a very limited base. Even if she's the most popular single candidate, when her father did make it to the second round in 2002, he was defeated. Only 18% voted for him, and 82 voted for Jacques Chirac, the center-right candidate. So this will not happen in such a gap this time, but in theory, anybody should beat Marine Le Pen. Emmanuel Macron, currently at second place. He's 39 years old. He founded a party called En Marche, used to be, and the Socialist Party in the center-left, used to be economy minister for Hollande. He's very market-friendly, very pro-European. In some polls, he's leading, but his support is not solid. It's not the strong base that traditional parties enjoy. He's popular at the moment, but voters can also change their mind and not vote for him. He was never elected as well, and he's young, so it's not like he has a solid record. François Fillon, leader of the center-right Les Républicains, he used to be prime minister. He's very establishment. He does have a lot of experience. He was supposed to easily win the elections, but we discovered 2 months ago he has a lot of experience also in paying his own family salaries for work they never did, his wife and his sons. He's officially under investigation. He weathered calls to step down, and he insisted on running. He's also considered pro-market, a bit less pro-European, but at least a victory for François Fillon would be market-friendly, Euro-friendly. Okay, his support is smaller than Macron's or Le Pen's, but it is more solid. He enjoys the brand of the party of Charles de Gaulle. And here is a candidate that emerged recently in the debates. He had excellent debate performances. He holds a rally in one city and projects his hologram to stages in other cities. He's the radical left. He's, well, not that young, ex-communist, anti-market. Once changes in Europe, he doesn't want to dissolve the European Union like Le Pen, but certainly not a market-friendly candidate. Okay, and he had a surge in recent weeks and made it to the sort of margin of error zone. He has a chance of making it to the second round. And last and well least, an establishment candidate, establishment party, Benoit Hamon from the Socialist Party. His party elected him and not more centrist Manuel Valls or other candidates. He lost support of moderates to Macron, including some of his party members that openly support Macron, and he lost the extreme leftists to Melenchon. He had very poor debate performances, and he's basically out of the race with only 10% support. Comment here, common practice in many countries is to employ ghost family members. Yeah, I must say it's not that rare, but France is a sort of well-established country where the rule of law is important, and when such a scandal comes out, it's quite a problem for the candidate. Many voters dislike Fillon and decided not to vote for him because of this. Anyway, this concludes our list of 5 candidates, but we can discount Hamon at the moment. Recent polls, and it changes every day. I follow a few polls. I follow the poll by Opinionway, published every day at 10 GMT. Another one is of EFOP, published every day at 4 GMT. Now we're reaching the last days of the election, so anyway, the polls show a very, very close race. As you can see from the data I picked up just yesterday, it changes every day just a bit. Macron is now first, but just 1% lead within the margin of error. Fillon, which currently doesn't, Le Pen is second with 22. Fillon, which is out of the second round according to this poll, but is within the margin of error as well, with 21. And Melenchon is also very, very close. So we have centrist, extreme right, center right, and extreme left, all within touching distance of the second round. And to make things even more complicated, 30% of voters are undecided, according to most polls. Okay, so some can change their mind. We don't know how the turnout will be. I assume the turnout will be high, but it doesn't mean that it favors one candidate over another. Scenarios. In theory, if we count 4 candidates, simple math gives us 6 scenarios, but we'll reduce it to 4 scenarios, and the euro will certainly react in the outcome. The close elections could lead into a long night. We should have some kind of results before markets open in Asia on Monday, but you never know, and it could be a long night with the crazy Asian session and a weekend gap. So let's begin. This is the mainstream scenario because these are the leading candidates. Le Pen vs Macron, very clear choice in the second round between open and closed. Highest probability, but again, very close. Macron is set to beat Le Pen in the second round according to polls by, well, 25, 28%. So that would be a positive outcome for the euro because most moderate voters will coalesce around Macron and beat Le Pen, and will have a pro-European government in France. Okay, so the euro is set to rise towards 110 according to my calculations, my scenario. Okay, that's the scenario with the highest probability, but very close behind we have this scenario: Le Pen versus Fillon, extreme right versus center right. Very not such a big difference from the previous scenario. Here the odds are a bit closer. Fillon is set to beat Le Pen also with quite a big margin, 58 to 42. But some moderates will just stay at home and not vote for Fillon in the second round. Even though Le Pen looks scary, Fillon is well, causes disgust to many voters because of his scandals. So I would say the euro could fall, maybe even towards the lows of the year. Again, probably will have Fillon as president, but the level of certainty is much lower. This is sort of the nightmare scenario: extreme right against extreme left, which markets began fearing in recent weeks because of the emergence of Melenchon. Both are anti-market. I would say Melenchon is a better choice. He's more pro-European. This has a low probability that voters will go towards both of the extremes. And in this scenario, markets will not know who is worse. Euro dollar could dive towards parity and even below. So in this scenario, I expect it has lower probability, but the outcome could be more significant for markets. And another scenario which we cannot rule out is that Le Pen stays out. I mean, in all these scenarios, we put Le Pen as #1, or at least as shoe-in for the second round. But if the extreme right candidate, anti-Euro candidate, stays out, I think it doesn't matter who the 2 out of the 3 are, because it will be either President Macron or President Fillon. And then I think we'll have a huge sigh of relief. Euro dollar could leap to 112 or 115, a big jump, perhaps not dissimilar, not different from what we've seen this week with the pound. Okay, So that's my fourth scenario. Let's conclude a bit because we've talked quite a lot. It's a huge event, okay? If Macron makes it to the second round, I think it's the best scenario for markets, the best one for Europe. Melenchon vs Le Pen is the worst. Having the centrist candidates out is the worst. Trade with care in any case. Some brokers, by the way, are limiting leverage and doing other stuff. And in any case, the story of the French elections, which has accompanied us for quite a few months, is now reaching the first climax, but it's not the last. It ain't over until the second round of the elections on May 7th. Okay.